Hi guys and welcome to Crazy Burger. So in this video we're going to be looking at 12 of the very best Commodore 64 games that have been released in the last couple of years. So that's basically brand new C64 games that you can play today or download from itch.io or get the physical versions from Protovision or other sites like that. Now I'm a huge Commodore 64 fan. I love Creatures, one of my all-time favourite games. I love International Karate as well. I love Paperboy. I think it's a fantastic version on the Commodore 64. Arguably probably better than a lot of the other versions out there, even the arcade. I love the Rick Dangerous games as well, even though they can be a little bit frustrating. I love Last Ninja series too. There's so many games to talk about. I could really go on all day. Turricane being an absolute classic as well. But in this video we're looking at brand new C64 games released in the last couple of years. And we're going to start with A Pig Quest. So this is A Pig Quest, which was released in 2023 to much critical acclaim, and no wonder, it is a really cool game. There's not many games that you'll see like this on your Commodore 64. There's so many things going on. It's an action adventure style game and you're playing the pig Frank Further, which is kind of amusing in itself. The only thing I don't like about the game is that the enemies do respawn after you've moved off the screen, but that's pretty much par for the course, which you find in a lot of 8-bit games, especially on the NES. But it's a fantastic game, really playable, a lot of fun, and I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. You can find this on itch.io for €9.99, which is pretty reasonable these days. You can also buy a physical copy from Protovision. So this is Boxy Moxy, which is a single screen puzzle game, and the idea is to clear all the skulls from each stage. Now one of the characters can't touch the skulls. You really just have to use that character as leverage to reach the other ones that you can probably not quite reach without the help. And obviously you're trying to do this in as little moves as possible. The least moves you get, the more stars you get, and obviously the more stars you get, the more stages that you can unlock in the later levels. Really addictive stuff. I was recommended this last year by one of our viewers, and because I absolutely love Big Too Small that was released on Evercade, and this is pretty much more of the same kind of idea. You can download this for free from itch.io, although I would always recommend maybe leaving a small fee to the person that made the game, because that's probably the best thing to do. But anyway, it's there, it's a great little game and I love it. So this is Briley Witch Chronicles, which is a Japanese-inspired RPG, and it was based on Briley Witch series of novels, which is quite fascinating to me. Now, as of 2024, there's also a sequel to this, but this is the original that was released in 2021, and it's not something you'll see very often on the Commodore 64, which is an RPG, and it's very well done. The graphics are fantastic, lots of colour, lots of stuff going on. It's really, really impressive. So you're Briley Forrester, who's been torn from her world and dumped into the backward village of Maple, and you've also got your cat as your sidekick, which somehow starts to talk as well. So it's an interesting game, lots going on, fantastic achievement, and you'd be mad to miss this. This is $9.99 on itch.io, and I would recommend this to anyone that loves their RPGs. So this is Doc Cosmos, which was 2019's Freeze Game of the Year, and you can see why. The gameplay is excellent, the colourful graphics, the fantastic music. So you play Doc Cosmos, you're in search of a powerful alien device that is rumoured to be able to allow the user to time travel. But probably the most interesting part of the game is the device that you find here to switch between timelines, to change Doc's control scheme and alter the scenery in order to progress through the complex and find a way out. So you need to search keys, unlock sort of different doors and make progress utilising this different switch sort of device that you find. It's fantastic fun, really impressive for a Commodore 64 game, and I cannot believe that you can download this for free on itch.io. Absolutely amazing. Really cool game, recommend it to everyone. So next game is GridPix from 2020, and I absolutely loved this game. I was completely hooked and addicted till I completed all the sort of different stages. Now it's obviously a Picross style game where you need to sort of make up an image utilising the numbers that you can see and the grid that you've got there. Now the grids get bigger the further you get into the game. It starts off pretty simple, but there's certainly a few stages where you'll be head scratching and not sure what the heck to do, and probably even start all over again. I love the music as well in this game. It is very cool, quite relaxing. You can change it if you want. There's options to change between a couple of different musical styles as well, which is really cool. The first few stages, very simple, but it does get fiendish further on, and you'll probably take up to maybe 15-16 minutes, maybe even longer doing one level. It will certainly keep you coming back for more, and it did for me. I kept coming back. I was very addicted and loved it to bits. Simple stuff, but I would highly recommend it. If you like your puzzle games, you like your Picross games, you can download this from itch.io. I think it's about $2.99 or $1.99 now, from Thalamus, who actually picked this up last year. Recommended. Brilliant stuff. So this is Knights and Slimes, which is a simple puzzle style game, single screen, where you need to clear all the slimes that have overrun the castle. You can jab them with your weapon, you can jump on top of them, but once you do that they split into smaller pieces, and be careful, they do join up again, which can create a larger piece again, and you're basically back to the beginning again. But once you've cleared all the slimes and stars, you move on to the next stage. Now apparently all the stages are randomly generated, which is pretty cool, and there's quite a lot. There's 8 different characters to choose from and 4 different world areas to play. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was quite addictive. It does get a little bit samey right enough, so I wouldn't recommend massive long plays. Maybe just playing every 5-10 minutes. It's plenty to get lots of enjoyment out of it. It's $2.99 on itch.io, and I would certainly recommend it if you like this style of game. It's very, very cool. So this next game is Leicester, that was released last year as a free download on itch.io, that totally blew me away. I couldn't believe it was for free, and this was even on the Commodore 64. The graphics are fantastic and the music is really impressive stuff. It's clearly a Metroidvania style game, and you play the android L-3573-R, and your idea is basically trying to clear all the threats from this space station, and it's really cool. Excellent stuff. As I said, excellent graphics. The music is really, really cool. You've got an entire space station to explore, which is 60 plus rooms. You can upgrade your weapons, you get special powers. I'm very impressed. It certainly blows me away that this is on the Commodore 64, and as I said, you can download this for free if you like from itch.io. So what are you waiting for? So next up it's Millie and Molly, and this is a puzzle game that's based on the Game Boy game called Cat Trap that was released many years ago. But this is Millie and Molly, a fantastic single screen puzzle game where you need to clear the enemies and then move on to the next stage. Now the initial stages are laughably easy, but don't get lulled into a false sense of security, because maybe around about 20, level 30, something like that, it becomes fiendishly hard, but it is very addictive. There's a few levels certainly later on where I definitely scratched my head and could swear that there's no way that this is possible to complete, but I did complete it. There's 99 levels. It probably took me a few months to actually complete, so it was really good value for money, and I'm pretty sure it's $1.99 on itch.io for download, and I would highly recommend this game. Certainly one of my most favourite Commodore 64 games from the last few years, if not of all time. It's excellent stuff, and I love the music in the initial levels. And don't forget there's also a rewind function as well, which is something of a rarity on Commodore 64. So if you get stuck, you can rewind back to where you started. Okay, so this is Sam's Journey that was released in 2017, so it's probably the oldest game on this video. It's probably the most expensive game in this video still as well. It's $23.99 on itch.io for the download, so by far the most expensive game, but you can see why it's very impressive. Graphically, probably one of the best looking Commodore 64 games I've seen in a long time. And it's clearly inspired by games such as Super Mario. There's 6 special costumes with additional skills. You can collect a pirate costume, which gives you the ability to sort of use a sword to take out the enemies, which is pretty cool. You can jump on the enemies' heads as well, and it's very tough. It is a good challenge. Very impressive, and I would highly recommend it. It is a little bit pricey though, it's a lot more expensive than the other games on this video, but it's still very good. this is Yeti Mountain, that was released January 2024 on itch.io for $8.99, and it's a multi-genre style game where the first episode is an RPG style, the second episode is a platforming action style game, and the final episode is basically a skiing game. And the idea of the story is try to find your friend Chris, who is a ski instructor that's went missing on Yeti Mountain. And obviously the first part of the game you're trying to find clues to what actually happened to him on the resort, and then it's a platforming game, and then it mixes up with a little bit of skiing. There's lots of mini games as well, which is quite cool. Graphically it's okay, I like the little cutscenes, but it's not the most perfect game you'll ever play, but it's still quite impressive to this day, and I'd certainly recommend playing it, and it could well be one of the best games of this year. So final game for this video, this is Zeta Wing, and this one was very critically acclaimed back in 2020. RGN's Gamer's Choice Award, Indie Retro News Budget Game of the Year, which is $3.99 on itch.io if you're interested in downloading it. Now it's clearly a shoot 'em up game. I'm not a big fan of this style of genre, but I really enjoyed this one. It's quite addictive. It was a nice, decent challenge, wasn't too difficult for me, which obviously I quite enjoyed. There's 7 challenging stages with end bosses as well. And if you love shoot 'em ups, then why not give it a go? It's reasonably priced on itch.io. Now interestingly, there is also a sequel as well if you enjoy this, which was released last year. Okay guys, we've reached the end of the video. That's my 12 picks of some of the best games released on Commodore 64 in the past few years. What other games would you include? What have I missed? Let me know. I think the indie retro scene for Commodore 64 is fantastic right now. Hopefully it will go from strength to strength. It's great to see new games still being made for our Commodore 64. Anyway guys, thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.